In this video lesson, we're going to look at track and review changes. This is a way of allowing you to edit a document and then see what changes have been made. It's not the kind of tool you would use individually, but more likely to use if you were collaborating on a document. For example, if I've written my document about Cockermouth, I might want somebody else to review it for me, and then for them to make changes. What track and review changes does is allow that process to happen, and then for me to open the document and see what changes have been made very easily. To start the process, I'm going to switch on the reviewing toolbar. And here's the reviewing toolbar, and that's what we're going to be using. The main button that we're going to work with is switching the track changes on and off. This is simply a toggle button. We click it once to activate the system and switch it off again to revert back to a normal document. You'll notice with it switched on, we also have the TRK in the status bar. That means track changes is on, and we can actually use the status bar to switch it on and off as well, just by double clicking off and on. If I was going to ask somebody to review this document for me, this would be the stage at which I would save the document for them. I've switched on track changes. I would then save the document. They would open the document and make any changes. As they make changes, the changes they make will appear on the screen. So let's try it. We'll pretend we're somebody else now. Cockermouth, don't like that. This should be about Workington. So we make that change to the document, and as you can see, the change is highlighted in red, and also at the right hand side we've got a margin opened up, and it says that the word Cockermouth was deleted. We don't just have to change in that way, we can add words to it. For example, unimportant. That doesn't get a bubble because it's purely been inserted, there's nothing being deleted, but it does show in the main document the changes there. When you just make pure deletions, it tells us in the right hand side. So you go through the document making the relevant changes. That should be the 17th and 18th centuries. And it was the Normans and Saxons. So you can see we've made a number of changes there, and they all are very apparent on the screen. So your reviewer would save the document and you would reopen it, and this is exactly what you would see on the screen, the changes that reviewer has made for you. So looking at the reviewing toolbar, we've got the drop-down menu at the left-hand side. This allows us to select how we want to view the document. We've currently got final showing markup, which means we can see the edited document, and in the right-hand margin, details of the changes that have been made. We can also have just the final document, the edited changes. We can have the original document. You can see there that the Saxons has disappeared. We show the final, there's the Saxons. We show the original, and the Saxons has gone. We can also have the original showing the markup. So that's just a way of seeing the document in different views. No changes have been made. We can now use the system to look at how we accept or reject the particular changes. We use this icon, previous and next, to allow us to cycle through the changes that have been made. It goes through them one at a time, highlighting each one. And obviously going next goes in the opposite direction. When we've got to a change, we can decide whether to accept it or not. I'll accept this change, and that records it to the system. I then click on next to find the next change, and for this one I will reject it, so it's been deleted again. Find the next change, this will just start again at the beginning of the document. Find the change, there's Workington, accept or reject. And remember also we can use the undo button if you've made a mistake, because I actually want to accept that change. Carrying on through, we'll accept this particular change. And if we use the drop down, we can accept all the changes, or all the changes that are left still to make, or we can reject all the changes still to be made. So I'll just reject the rest of the changes. So that's reviewing the changes, deciding whether or not to accept them. I then click that button to switch off the track changes. We don't want that feature anymore, and you can see there when I made some alterations, they aren't highlighted. We can also get to track changes using the menu system. Switch it off in the toolbar, and we've also got the reviewing pane icon, which switches on the reviewing pane at the bottom of the screen. It's just a different way of looking at the same feature. I don't particularly like this method of working. My personal choice is to stick with the balloons at the right hand side. So that's accept and reject changes made to the document, a way of monitoring what changes have been made and deciding which ones to accept or reject.